right? That's
I will help, like I said, that I will help let the Commissioner of DEP certainly know that of your concern. I'm sure he already does, but I will let him know that it's filtering in, it's becoming annoying and cumbersome here, and a distraction to our town folks during a period of time. Should be tremendously elated during our 350th anniversary.
Thank you. Along with what Sean said about the appearance of a problem here, are you willing to write a letter correcting the position that you wrote
There's
to?
no correction.
No. You wrote an endorsing letter.
That's right.
I would like somehow that to be retracted so that the appearance of the problem goes away.
If you listen to the letter, okay, it was a statement of testimony, and do you think this would be a good idea? And my answer, in a very flowery fashion, was yes.
But you didn't express that as an individual, you expressed that on town letterhead.
It was expressed as testimony, and I was asked for testimony, and I gave some testimony.
I think it would be rightful for you to clarify that, to make sure that the legislature doesn't misinterpret that letter. Thank you.
Any other comments tonight? Yes, ma'am.
Just a question actually just came to me. Would you, now I don't know if you're familiar that East Haddam has voted to send a message, send their opinion against the swap to Hartford. Would you be willing to have a public hearing where everybody from town, whoever wants to come, can come, and then you take an informal vote of the people at the hearing and then also do the same thing, send a letter to Hartford or to Commissioner Esty or Malloy?
As far as informal gathering or surveys, you have plenty of opportunity to do that. But it can't come through, it should not come through the town as an effort to change an act that's already, change a law that's already established.
It's sending your opinion, just like your letter was an opinion of the swap. Just like East Haddam has voted to send an opinion.
My opinion is that it's a shame we have such a divide on an area that could be something that could bring us together. My opinion is that we have 44 square miles of land, and we have 51% open space. My opinion is that of that 51% open space, of the 49% remaining, 90% of it's residential. And my opinion is we're struggling here to try to keep our taxes down. And we're bleeding from the risk to do that. We don't have any potential ability to bring in external tax revenue from commercial development. And if we could find something that is indeed the same thing that we always wanted for our villages, the same thing that we want for Haddam, the same kind of opportunities that would bring those revenues in and be a good part of the town, I think we deserve the opportunity to see if it can be done.
And also, as much as it can be perceived as anybody, not just some of the board of selectmen, any other board in town, so I know other people on boards have expressed opinions as well. If you had a town meeting or you had a public hearing and 200 people came, and all 200 voted against a swap, it would also be deceptive to take that 200 and say the entire town is against it.
Well, that's how we vote on our budget.
If you have 200 people that are against it, those 200 people can write a letter against it, and that is the accurate amount of people, or 800, or 1,000. That would be the accurate amount of people who are against it, not to take a small group and have a meeting and say, well, that must mean the entire town is for it or against it. But either way they vote, just as much as it could be perceived as deceptive by a few people trying to express the opinion of the entire town.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Liz Bazazzi, Lake Avenue, Higginham. My understanding is that Paul is an individual, but on letterhead, made a statement, his own personal opinion, which was construed as representing the entire town. And also, two different commissioners, one from Conservation and one from Planning and Zoning, also voiced their opinions as chair of their commissions, which was construed as representing their commissions, even though no vote was ever taken. I know that on all three accounts, it was stated by our legislators that was representing the town of Haddam, that was representing their commissions, and that Paul's account was representing the town of Haddam. And I think that there is some confusion there. Now, I just want to address what you just said, Sean. If you open a town meeting and anyone interested has a vote, pro or con, then everyone that's interested has the opportunity to voice their opinion.
Correct.
But you can't, but then logically assumes that the people that don't come don't have an opinion. So how can you not say that that's fair? Everyone is given a chance to attend, but in this case, no one from the town has been given any formal opportunity to voice their opinion. Only people who seemed to represent the town, but really, as Paul just said, he was representing his own opinion, but it was absolutely construed repeatedly, if you read the script, the transcript, as representing the town of Haddam. So wasn't the Commissioner of Conservation, so wasn't the Commissioner of Planning and Zoning. So there has been a misrepresentation of the town. Now, this whole town, you could have a town meeting and everyone could be for this land swap, and that would resolve that. But it doesn't seem to me, just from the people that I run into in town and what I hear from people, that that's the case. So to say that you have a town meeting and that doesn't represent the town's opinion, that's saying that we are, as someone said, the Board of Finance is voted through in that way. I mean, I don't understand that. If anyone that is pro or con can show up, and it does represent anyone with an opinion in the town has that opportunity. We have not been given an opportunity to voice our opinion, and people have spoken formally on letterhead as though they were representing the people that they should be representing. So that's why I have a problem, and I would love it if Paul would send a correction letter that says this is not my opinion, this is only my opinion, and I do not represent the town in any way, if that was your intention in that letter. Because you do not have the opinion of the town when you wrote that.
There was a public hearing, so, as you know, available on this, and as there are in all acts of this nature. So, right, and with that, we are closing down very shortly, so.
Paul, I'd like to give a different perspective on this.
Please, Ed.
There's only one item on the petition that I'm going to speak about, and I quote, "The conveyance will benefit only a private developer rather than the town as a whole." The Economic Development Commission has had land exchange on our agenda for each of many monthly meetings. The acquisition of the 87 acres by the DEEP state agency borders the Cockaponset State Forest. It is freshwater producing land. It was the source of fresh water for Undina Beverage Company for their 25 to 30-year business span. It has been reported to us that Haddam businesses and some residents are buying bottled water. Now, this was reported to us by one of our members, Dan Gillette, and he had a meeting with the business owners in Haddam. The State Clean Water Testing Agency has determined that their water in the town of Haddam does not meet regulations. At some time in the future, the town of Haddam will be required to supply the fresh water. The fresh water on the acquired state land will be the source. Since restaurants in Haddam are affected, hundreds of residents in town will be positively affected by the land transfer. The DEEP has stated that their goal is to acquire 21% of Connecticut land for preservation. The 87 acres acquired is 5 times larger than the 17 acres in Tylerville. Thus, the DEP is 5 times closer to their goal. A final comment. Fresh water is life-sustaining and the most important part of the land transfers. We have 2 items that we have to be considered about, Tylerville and the center of Haddam. And that's a concern about fresh water. The item in the petition that conveyance will benefit only a private developer is false.
Thank you. I'm sorry, folks, we're gonna have to adjourn the meeting for this evening, but thank you very much for all of your comments. May I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Wow. I do want to give this to you guys. These are...